All right. Hello, everyone. I am AnthonyCaliber.
I'm adef.
And what an act to follow. Did you hear that voice?
I know the singing. And now The Last of Us.
It was incredible. All right. So this is The Last of Us. Has a pretty long re-release history. Last of Us was released in 2013 on the PlayStation 3. Left Behind, the single-player DLC, was released 8 months later. 5 months after that, it was remastered for PS4. 8 years later, remade for PlayStation 5. So we're going to be doing Left Behind single-player DLC, new game on the hardest difficulty, grounded mode. And we're going to flick this little thing on here, speedrun mode.
Yeah.
We'll turn that on. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But all right.
I also want to preface this as we go in. Grounded is, if you've never played The Last of Us, exceptionally hard. Like, it is the hard mode of hard modes. So Anthony's going to be putting on a master class.
Hopefully. We gotta wait for this to go away. All right. Timer will start when I skip this cutscene in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, Anthony.
Thank you. All right, here we go. So what's going on here? Well, this is Left Behind. In the campaign, at the end of the science lab chapter, Joel is wounded when he falls off a ledge and lands on some rebar. He's punctured, and Ellie brings him to this abandoned mall, and now she's trying to find medical supplies to heal him up and patch him up. Now, we've never been here before. We don't know what's waiting for us around every corner. I do, but
I should hope so.
Yeah. So all we're doing in this part of the game right now is trying to find some medical supplies. But we are going to start collecting some bits of inventory.
Yeah, a big part of Grounded is inventory management as far as finding crafting materials, because The Last of Us is, sort of this post-apocalyptic, find what you can and then make it into useful tools, and Grounded is very scarce. So Anthony obviously knows where all of the pickups are and needs a lot of them to be making specific throwables and craftables and weapons that he'll be using throughout this run.
Yes, and a lot of it will be used for the final encounter of the game, but we got a little ways to go.
Yeah.
What we're doing right now is there's a locked door behind the pharmacy. That's where Ellie thinks that the medical supplies are going to be. So we got to get a key for that. The note said there's a combination for the lock right here. So we're going to go in here, loot this guy, and he's got the key for it.
He looks cozy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not so bad.
He does. As far as infected goes, that's a very cozy position.
Even cozier now.
Mm-hmm. And then clicker, on grounded mode. I don't care. I'm just going to run away.
Yeah, so there will be certain encounters where Anthony, the goal is actually to just get past the encounter as fast as possible. So like there is obviously just the one clicker, so so be it. But there will be encounters where Anthony does need to clear every single enemy in the encounter, but sort of a mix.
Mm-hmm. All right, that med kit box was empty. That military helicopter does contain what we need, so we're just going to get there. Now this is where we're going to start paying attention to crafting ingredients, which we're going to use to craft 2 nail bombs that are both going to be used in the final fight. So we're going to get blades and explosives right there. And then we're just going to go. But now by the time we get to the final encounter, we will have 2 nail bombs that we will use.
Yep, literally every single crafting item, every throwable, everything is scripted. In Anthony's mind of like, okay, this is my path through this fight, this is my path through this fight, and on Grounded, you truly do not have much margin for error.
No, you don't. With regards to enemies like injuring Ellie, with full health, 2 punches from a human, she's dead. A second, if she gets shot a second time, she's dead. So think of it almost like really close to being a one-hit kill. She can survive 1 bullet, but that's about it. Okay, now who's this? This is Ellie's friend, Riley. We're flashing back to 3 weeks before the events of the start of the campaign. Riley is Ellie's best friend, and it's the person she was referring to. At the end of the campaign, Ellie opens up to Joel saying, back in Boston when I was bit, I wasn't alone, my best friend was there. We didn't know what to do, so let's be all poetic and just lose our minds together. So this part of the game goes over the events of that day. And as for what happened before this, because Ellie and Riley end up talking a lot about stuff that happened before, Ellie and Riley were both in this military boarding school, which when you graduate from there, you're either cast off into the world or you become a soldier for the military. Riley didn't want to do either, so she became a Firefly, which is the resistance group in the campaign. And before she left, Ellie and Riley had this falling out, and then she just left for a long time. And this is Riley coming back just to spend some time with her.
Really quickly, I want to touch on a little micro-optimization that Anthony did twice there. So there are basically these regions in the game that proc, okay, here's the new checkpoint. And Anthony is restarting checkpoint right when he enters them to get his buddy AI to move forward. Because oftentimes in these Naughty Dog games, you have to wait for a Riley in this context, or whomever your buddy AI might be, to catch up with you for a dialogue line or a door to open. And so restarting checkpoint puts the buddy AI in some circumstances further ahead. So it's just like a 5-second time save maybe.
Way more.
Way more, really, okay.
There's a permadeath category for this game, which means you can't die and you can't restart checkpoint.
Right.
So that becomes, in this part of the game, it becomes more about manipulating your buddy.
Mm.
So right here, these are just placing her in front of us.
Yeah.
All right, adef, why don't you talk about that little ticking timer on the top right?
Yeah, so do you want me to give a little backstory on it?
Sure.
So this is not something that comes up a lot, but I worked at Naughty Dog. I was QA on Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and then I was QA on The Last of Us 2, which was an amazing experience, and funnily enough was a job I got through speedrunning, because through a friend, Oven Donkey, who was a remarkable Uncharted speedrunner, and got the job through GDQ, actually, and then I tagged along. And years after I left the company, I went back to college, whatever, I got a call or an email that Naughty Dog was working on a speedrun mode for The Last of Us remasters. And I hopped on the little Zoom call where they contracted us, a couple of speedrunners to come talk about it. And who do I see but AnthonyCaliber is in the call. So it's me and Anthony and a couple of other Last of Us community members and some lovely folks over at the Kennel. And we just sort of gave some advice and talked about what would be cool in a speedrun mode. And major props to Naughty Dog. There is a speedrun mode, which is super sick. It's got splits, it's got a real timer. It is truly a lot of the things that we said were on our wish list are there, which is really remarkable. It was very cool to see a studio, not just because it was one that I had been at before, but it's just awesome to see a studio care about speedrunning and we're a niche community, but we're growing, and it's just sick to see, it's awesome. I don't know. It's really cool.
Yeah, well said. I think it's one of the best speedrunning timers put in a game. It's basically live split built into the game. And it pauses when a cutscene starts, when the screen is black, during a loading screen, even when you die. It's really good, and it saves your time. If I don't get out of the next chapter by 10:22.5, I'm losing time. Right,
that's Anthony's best, and it tracks that. And removing loads is huge because consoles are different. You never know. I like to stuff my consoles with Cheez-Its. I feed it Cheez-Its. And apparently that makes it slower, which to me is nonsense, but scientists are investigating. But removing loads is really nice because it evens the playing field.
Yep. All right, this game also has a lot of accessibility features. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I put on permanent center dot and auto pickup, so it'll pick things up automatically without me having to push a button. All right, we're gonna commit some vandalism. we're gonna try and, yeah.
Let's go, let's go!
We're gonna throw these bricks at the car windows. Auto pickup makes this a lot easier. And the permanent center dot helps with the first throw.
This is, like, I know this seems silly because it's just like a scripted, like there's no enemies. This is genuinely impressive. The throwing in this game is like, it follows an arc and it shows you the arc, but Anthony's also moving while throwing, which means that the arc is obviously dynamically changing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn those off real quick. There we go. Yeah, I found it's just a little bit easier to throw the brick. Instead of moving the camera, I'd rather keep the camera still and move Ellie's body instead. All right, right there was, if you win that fight, you can ask Riley a question, but of course we're just gonna click don't ask a question because it's faster. And I think this is a good time to get some donations in.
I have you absolutely covered. Now, I also want to call out some of the upcoming incentives that we've got going on. We had an incentive that just opened up a little while ago on the Silent Hill 2 run that's coming up to get that upgraded to the hard restricted variety. We are already over $4,000 towards that, a little over 16% of the way of the $25,000 that we need. So, gamesdonquick.com/donate. We also have some bid wars open there, as referenced in this $25 donation from Shade the Snack. The Last of Us is one of my favorite games ever made, and this donation is in honor of my father, who passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2023. Plus, who can't resist the dog ending in Silent Hill 2? Been watching AGDQ for years, but I've grown a lot closer to such a noble cause since cancer entered my life. Cheers to $500,000 raised for PCF. Thank you, Shade, for your donation. And yes, we do have a bid war going on for the ending choice in Silent Hill 2. Dog ending currently in the lead, but UFO ending is not out of the running yet. Also, another donation I want to get in here, and I'm sorry, man, I got to do this to you, but $25 from Itch Strike. Hey, adef, do your impression of a drill.
Anthony, should I do it? It's for $25. Well, I guess they already paid. It'd be rude not to.
They already paid. They did.
All right,
you got it.
This is my impression of a drill.
This is really good.
Thanks.
Also, look away.
I'm looking away.
It's really bright. I love seamless transitions in games, but not at the cost of my retinas.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So now we're back in quote-unquote present day.
Yes, we're gonna pick up this explosive and we're gonna get to our first enemy encounter. It's in the next room with a bunch of trucks and some shallow water with 4 stalkers. That's the second stage of cordyceps infection. The phases are runners, stalkers, clickers, shamblers in part 2, and bloaters. There's only runners, stalkers, and clickers in this game, though. And stalkers are a very unique enemy type. They don't rush you right away. They'll cower and hide. It's almost like they're hunting. But as you can see, we don't have any ammo. So that brick we picked up in the very beginning of the game, that's going to be our weapon to start. And then because we're under a certain threshold of ammo, they're going to drop, hopefully, the same amount of ammo every time. So we should leave here with 2 bullets. We should. And the way to the helicopter that has the med kit is blocked by a gate. The gate can only be opened electronically, so we're trying to turn on the generator. But all right, here we go. Now what I'm gonna do with the gun, I'm not gonna headshot all of them. I'm going to leg shot them because it's easier. And then you just go in for a stab. But here we go. There's the first one. He drops a bullet. Gotta reload quickly. Gotcha. He'll drop a bullet.
One benefit of using Ellie as opposed to Joel is that the knife has infinite uses. So Anthony is able to do a leg shot, which, like he said, is easier in a lot of circumstances. There, he has a scripted shot there.
Okay. He ate the brick throw. I have to do it again. He had some iframes there, unfortunately.
Welcome to Grounded.
That had nothing to do with Grounded. Well, it was so good, let's do it a second time.
Yeah.
Kill him. He drops a bullet. Get this one. Get that brick over there.
He's aiming for right there because he knows that that enemy's going to drop down in a specific place and get the headshot every time.
There we go.
There we go.
And then we're going to do something right here. Once Ellie starts having dialogue, we're going to jump off the top of the car. That skips the dialogue that she has, because if she's saying that dialogue, the triangle prompt for this gas tank won't be there. So jumping off the car after the encounter is over skips the dialogue, so we can triangle prompt it right away. Yeah, what happened at the end of that fight, when he jumps off from the top spot into the water, he had some iframes there, so I wasn't able to. Ellie has basically no hand-to-hand combat in this game, so I had to do that a second time.
Yeah, it's just finishers for Ellie.
Yeah, all right. We're gonna turn on the generator here. And in typical Naughty Dog fashion, 3 straight triangle prompts. It's always 3.
I cannot comment.
All right, then we're gonna go back to the door and get up to that helicopter. Unfortunately, the water is now inaccessible.
Don't touch electric water.
Don't touch electric water. That's just good advice.
It is. It is. We're gonna pick up, even though this is grounded, we're gonna pick up 3 bullets and a Molotov that's just sitting right over here. And we have what we need for final fight now. We'll get a bow later, but yes, that water is now inaccessible. You can try and go in there, but I gotta warn you, the results will be shocking.
Yeah, let's go humor.
Yeah. Oh, I can hear you all booing at home. All right, so we can't go back the way we came. We have to keep going further and further through. So we're gonna go up there, but if we try and climb up there, it'll just fall, so we have to brace it with something. So we're gonna use this. That should be good.
Nice.
And now, the next encounter, which we are going to do stealthy, because there's, what, 5 runners and 2 clickers in the next room. So we're gonna be doing this stealthy. But first, a leap of faith. You better make it, thank you. All right. And here we go. Crouch right there.
I hear you.
We're gonna get this bottle for a distraction right in here. Get those crafting ingredients. Distract, it has to hit the door for them all to go for it. Kill this runner in a very specific way, and then we're gonna get that blade, and we're out of there.
Nice.
That was
Very
good.
nice. She gently rests it as there's an infected right there.
Here we are again.
All right, right there, I did something as well. If you just hit triangle on the door right away, Ellie will very slowly jog to where we need to go. But if you wait 1 second after the subtitles go away, clickers spawn in, and then you can sprint your way up here instead. And even though you gotta hit the triangle prompt later, you end up saving about 2.5 to 3 seconds this way.
Yeah, so Naughty Dog loves these sort of like, not forced walking sections per se, but it is pretty typical in modern Naughty Dog games since, like, I don't know, U3 or U2, like, ooh, a little bit of feedback in the room. When you enter combat, your character moves much more quickly. And so oftentimes you want to be in combat to be able to run, which is why it's faster.
I'm not letting you go.
Okay, now back to the past here. we are going to play some Mortal Kombat.
Totally.
Pretend Mortal Kombat. But first, I want to show this off because I know people who've played this casually have never heard this line of dialogue, but after we're done vandalizing the cars, if you climb up onto one, Ellie will gloat.
You know. This firefly, Melanie told me all about it.
Just wait.
This looks fancy. Want to try it? I am the Brick Master! You ever hear of kids?
Is that how you feel, Anthony?
Oh, yeah.
You're the brick master?
Damn right.
Damn right, baby.
All right. Let's go to Raja's Arcade, which is a reference to Eddie Raja from Uncharted 1.
Fucking way. I told you.
Now, if my trivia serves me right,
It's busted.
Naughty Dog couldn't get the rights to Mortal Kombat, so they basically made their own Mortal Kombat, Angel Knives. Is that right?
I don't know, but that sound. Look, having worked at Naughty Dog, frequently, like, if something doesn't work, they're like, we'll just make our own. Like, that's.
Is your punch? Is your kick?
And they did. Okay, but the machine is broken, so Ellie's pretending to play. So,
You're playing as the unseen.
yeah. Now, the first 9 inputs are the same every time, which off the top of my head, let me see if I remember. It's up,
Am I supposed to picture all
then
this?
square, then left triangle,
Stands on the edge.
then down up circle, then mashing square, then up triangle circle, then triangle, then down right square, then down square, down square. Pretty sure that's it.
That's my social security number.
He's out for your blood.
And then every single prompt after that is random.
You ready?
And you want to avoid block prompts. You want attack prompts.
Black Fang brushes
And what's nice
towards
about
you.
this is you can
frozen, don't
input
punch in your
it
direction.
ahead of
Jump up.
time.
No, hit up to jump.
I did.
He overshot you. You
I
land behind
did.
him.
I've never heard
Punch him in the
that.
back.
Can you input them?
Yes, you can.
Wicked elbow, taking off like 15% of his health. Yes.
We're going to do this one
Turns around,
incorrectly.
comes back with a shadow claw attack. What do I do? Hold back and block to counter. You gotta press them
Because the
together.
dialogue is faster.
Kick, nice.
And it's mash square,
Mash punch to break the hit
up triangle circle. And then we're going to do this one incorrectly, just so we don't get dialogue at the end. And I'm going to turn on fewer arcade inputs. And this is the strat. Just mash every button at the same time, because you're not penalized for an incorrect input.
This is how, like, unironically, I do play fighting games, though. Like, I feel like I'm probably not alone.
It's faster to not do the fatality. Sorry.
You just punch him once and he falls over dead. But blood still, like, gushes out.
Also, remind me to do that input on the main menu
Okay,
when we're done.
I will.
Okay, now we're gonna play with some water guns. It's just a day at the mall, really.
Casual trip to the mall, also zombies.
Yeah.
Sorry, legally distinct zombies.
And unfortunately, there's like 3 rounds we gotta do. It's faster to fail all of them.
What are you looking at?
Yeah, that's where that goes.
That's not part of the run, I just felt like doing that.
Come on.
All right, so we have to lose the water fight. So what we're gonna do instead, just for no reason at all,
Gotcha. Oh, mother.
Let's just turn the...
Damn it.
Anthony hates mannequins. Fun fact. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't know this.
I just think that's funny. She's looking at the other mannequin like, can you believe what she just did to me?
I can't.
You barely even hit me.
Okay, so Riley is going to be in the same locations every time.
I'll go hide, and we'll hunt each other. Whoever gets hit first.
So actually, this is a good time for donations because I know exactly where she's going to be, and you have to lose.
I was about to say, we may be getting some mannequin hate, but we got a lot of love for you, Ant. So let's get to some of that. I got $25 here from Satori Earth. Great to see Last of Us and Ant back at GDQ. Wish I could be there in person, Ant, but I know you'll crush it, even without the lore dumps.
Thanks, Jay.
$5 from Sav Practical. Good luck to the most handsome Last of Us speedrunner. Much love from the Ant Colony.
I don't know who that is, but thank you.
$10 from Beritters. Best of luck with the run, Ant. And $50 from Edwards8101. Good luck, Ant. You've got this. Shout out to the best community.
Thanks, everyone.
Anthony's got a great stream. If you enjoy watching The Last of Us, you should go watch Anthony. It's a good time.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, dude. I mean, also, like, unironically just goated. Like, very, very talented. You will see in this run a small snippet of what Anthony is capable of, but you will, if you go to his stream, you'll see the full, like, this man knows how to play The Last of Us.
We'll see if I do. I'm stressing about the final fight. So upcoming is the final stretch of the game. Ellie has the medical supplies. She just has to make her way back to Joel. But the enemies we encountered in the science lab in the campaign, they're part of a much bigger group. And we killed a bunch of their guys. So they are actually after us, and we're gonna have to get through them if we want to get back to Joel.
Yeah, this encounter is really, really hard. This is like the Left Behind encounter, and is also one of the first few, if I'm not mistaken, mixed encounters in The Last of Us, where there are both humans and infected simultaneously.
That's right.
Which is a trend that continued deep into The Last of Us Part 2, but is very fresh in this, and just sort of blew our minds at the time.
Yeah, because it was done on a PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I mean, they really pushed the PS3 to its absolute limits.
Okay, so there's 4 consecutive human encounters, because we haven't really dealt with them yet. The first 3 encounters, we don't have to kill anyone, and we won't, because we're polite. But the final encounter, 16 human enemies, 4 infected, and that's where we're gonna use all of the stuff we've been collecting. So here we go. Yeah, they're having a rough go of it. But convenient bow is convenient. And very, very valuable. So here we go. Ellie can't take damage.
The sooner we find.
Very nice.
Nice.
That's 1 out of the way. We're gonna come to our next spot. And this is the first part where we can turn humans and infected against each other, but we're just gonna leave. We're gonna continue picking up crafting ingredients, though.
You'll notice anytime Ant is putting up that D-pad menu, you'll see that he's literally working with, at the current moment, like 8 things. He's got 5 bullets, 2 arrows, a brick, and a Molotov.
All right. This and the next part is like the run right here.
Yeah, this is definitely no joke.
So there's infected to our right and 4 guys coming down the ramp up there. We're just gonna leave, but we have to distract. Go over here, collect a bullet and an explosive. Gonna wait for them to pass. We're just gonna slip by.
Very nice.
Let's see. We are good.
You're chilling, you're chilling. Nice.
That room can be tough. I slowed down a little. The actual strat is to just run, but that's very inconsistent. All right, here we go. Final fight. It's in 2 waves. Here we go. We're gonna arrow him. Arrow him. Our first nail bomb goes there. That's for the enemies in the second wave. They're gonna blow up on contact. Molotov these 2 guys. Get him. There's our last explosive. 1 more nail bomb to craft.
Love crafting mid-fight, that's so sick.
Yep, we're gonna throw it right there. This is the hard part. That's okay. Let's see, did he drop anything? He did not. That's all right. I think 2 is all I need. All right, now this part looks weird, but I'm gonna pick up this arrow and this brick. That didn't actually injure her. That just triggers a checkpoint. It's very strange. Here we go. 3 more enemies to kill. Good. Collecting some ammo that they dropped. Clicker. And then one more. And that was a perfect fight.
Nice. Yes. Let's go, Ant, dude. That's so sick. I feel like Anthony made that look, like, not easy, but, like, you're like, oh, well, he didn't really get hit. But, like, you die. Like, if you get hit, it's over.
Yeah, you do. The one thing I messed up is at the end of the first wave, you're supposed to headshot. One of them, I just missed, but I had just enough ammo to get things done.
It's a good recovery.
Yeah. All right, now we're back in the past, and they were having fun in the mall, and then Infected showed up, so now we just got to get out of here. So we're just going to be running away from Infected. Ellie can't fight. She hasn't met Joel yet, so she can't fight. So we're really just running away from Infected. This is a good time, I think, to get some last donations in.
Absolutely, I've got you covered. I've got $5 here from Soma. Hey, Ant, congrats on being able to run this game for longer than 6 minutes this time. Looking forward to seeing you continue to break records, and I know we're all hyped to see Part 2 come to life this April. Endure and survive. I also want to get in a $25 donation we got from Heinrich. Let's get that difficulty updated. And a quick check-in on that Silent Hill 2 upgrade. We are now over $5,000, over 20% of the way to the $25,000 that we need to get that done. That has to be met before the Silent Hill run starts. So, not a ton of time left. GamesDoneQuick.com/donate. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, click on the Add Incentive button, and get your donation towards helping us upgrade that Silent Hill run.
All right, that restart checkpoint right there is just to move Riley a little bit further ahead. And we're just still running. Yeah, one of the donation messages mentioned a speedrun longer than 6 minutes. Was it 5 years ago? I did Left Behind Original Remastered. There's an any % for it, and I did it in 5.5 minutes.
It's a little faster.
There's a glitch at the very beginning that you can do to skip the whole game. It's a lot of fun. Remake, though, doesn't have any glitches. In Left Behind, there's some in the campaign, but none in Left Behind.
Yet.
Very true.
I feel
sure some.
That's always important.
Yeah. Oh, they were almost out. Okay, time is coming up in like 10, 15 seconds or so. You also don't have to hit square here. All right, time's coming up in about 3, 2, 1, time.
Nice. And a beautiful ending frame.
I know. According to speedrun mode, that was 29:59.9. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, that was Left Behind Remake on Grounded. I did some strats that are a little bit slower for marathon safety. The run's a lot faster. And this is what we were talking about before.
Yeah, check this out. This is speedrun mode. So this is a complete breakdown of the entire run from start to finish, splits and all. Again, very sick. Shout outs to anybody at the kennel that's watching right now. Very appreciated to give our community some love. Miss you guys. It's very sick to have speedrun mode in the game.
Yep, it tracks your sum of best. That's the time I got, and that's my current record for the run, which is 27:52. And then it asked, would you like to save any golds you got? We didn't get any, but would you like to save them? And it keeps track of everything. It's under extras, speedrun recap. They have the campaign, they have Left Behind, they have all the different difficulties. If there aren't any times, it means you haven't done it yet. It even has permadeath.
I love that. Anthony's is like, no splits for any difficulties except for Grounded.
Yeah, for real. For the campaign, I haven't done any very light categories, just Grounded on the campaign.
Hey, Ant, while you're still here, can I get you one more dono real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I had $25 come in from Mama Caliber.
Oh, God.
Proud of you. Proud of you, Anthony. You're doing great.
Thanks, Mom.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I also want to show off one more thing. This is part 2 remastered. speedrun mode is also in this game as well. Not in original Part 2. Remastered was released almost a year ago, exactly. And they put speedrun mode in this game as well, right in here.
Yeah, so this is, if you're interested in The Last of Us speedrunning, there's been no better time. And it is really, truly very accessible. And there's lots of accessibility options in the game as well, which is really amazing. It can help you with any things you might be struggling with. Yeah, I was supposed to remind you about the button combo on the title screen.
Oh, that's okay, we can go back.
Also, while we're booting up this right here, I just do want to give one final shout out here to Anthony. Do check him out, twitch.tv/AnthonyCaliber. I believe the same on YouTube as well. Very great streamer, and if you enjoyed what you saw today, truly much longer, much harder runs, Anthony does it all.
Thanks, adef.
Of course, dude.
Follow him as well.
Nah.
Come on. Okay, the fatality on the Angel Knives machine, if you input it on the main menu, it changes from like dawn to day.
Oh. There's actually lots of little weird, fun little Easter eggs in Naughty Dog title screens.
Yeah, that one I think is basically Naughty Dog's Konami code.
Yeah.
Down, down, up, up, left, down, right, triangle and circle at the same time.
Nice. Good job, Anthony, dude. That was sick. GG's.
Thank you. And if you want to learn a Naughty Dog Last of Us speedrun yourself, we have a speedrunning Discord. And yeah, we have like an entire franchise to run now. So it's been a lot more fun lately. So if you're interested in learning, interested in trying it out, we have speedrun mode. We have a lot of options available to you.
Absolutely.
And I think that's it. Thank you, GDQ, so much for having me. This was fun.